Welcome everybody to another episode of Just Talking to You. I'm your man, Big Smooth, aka the People's Champ. And I am not here alone. I'm here with the crew. Crew, say what's up to our listeners tonight.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Damn, what the hell Shay Boogie he just slid to, man? God damn.
She had to
All
go
right.
see a man about a dog.
Okay,
Or
that's what's
with
up.
a one leg, 2 legs, if it was true.
Okay, we're gonna kick it out. There she go. She back. I'm like, damn, what the hell happened to Shay Boogie, man?
Sometimes they'll kick you off and you gotta get right back on.
That's what you sticking with. Okay, get your ass out of here. All right, man. We're gonna start off from my right to my left. Dre Day, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. It's me, your girl Dre Day, the girl chocolate wonder or the chocolate girl wonder, whatever I typed in there. That's what I am.
She up here tripping already. Shay Boogie, introduce yourself, Shay Boogie.
Man, it's your girl Shay, and I'm special as hell. That's all I got to say. That's it. Just special.
Special is Shay. Okay, that's all the way.
With that.
Short
All right.
bus.
All right, Miss Toya, introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Toya. That's it. That's all I got. Just your girl, Miss Toya.
That's all you
Just
got,
me.
Miss Toya.
Just me. Just me.
Nothing spectacular, nothing special, huh?
Not tonight.
All right, we'll take that, I guess.
But I'm always special and I'm always spectacular. So don't throw that jab in there.
Okay, that's what's up.
Caution.
All right, man. We're gonna introduce my man Chris Storian. Introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, everybody. It's your man, Chris Storian, at Christorian1, Instagram, at Christorian, Twitter. It's Mr. Everybody Mama favorite. Glad to see y'all. How y'all feeling today?
Oh man, nothing else, man. Nothing else besides your mama's favorite and stuff. What about the sweatpants and the bibs and shit, man?
No, man, I'm chilling.
Okay,
It's a chill kind of night.
that's what's up, man. All right, man. So y'all chill kind of night, man. What? How was y'all day, man? How was y'all day?
It
How
was
y'all
a
doing
decent
right
night.
now?
Doing good.
Mentally good. No complaints.
Okay,
It's summertime. I'm ready to go on vacation.
that's what's up. Shay Boogie.
On vacation now. Boom.
Nobody
It's
asked you.
Hey Shay, when you go back to work?
July 6th.
Wow.
Good for you. Pour into yourself the whole time you're off.
That's
Mhm.
right. That is
Slut,
so correct.
slut it
What-
up, Shay
What
Boogie.
else
Slut
can I
it
get
up.
into?
Slut
I
it up.
Last night, I went and shot my gun last night for the first time, and I am proud. I got off 10 whole rounds.
Nice.
I
How did
saw
you do?
you.
How did you
I-
do?
I did good.
All
I
belly and nut shots. That's all she did, boy, on the damn silhouette.
I
Belly
felt
and
like-
nut shots.
Really? Look, I got close to the center of the target. Look, I'm saying it right this time, not just in the middle of the red circle. That's how I started saying. So
Mhm.
to the center of the target a couple times, but it was scary when I first walked in because those loud guns was going off, and I haven't been, around that in a minute. So, and then when you get to shooting, the bullets get to flying, and one hit me in the head, and I was like, okay, I'm
Oh,
kind of
jail.
the shell.
I would have been
Shit.
done. I would have been done.
Mhm. So
You
I'm
can't
like,
be
I'm
done.
good. So I did 10 good rounds, and me and the girl that I met up there, we was like, okay, we'll come back. So we gonna meet up together and go back again.
Okay. You got a chance to get your little shoot on and everything. Hey, I'm finna be messy, right?
No, Lord.
Who was you at that Raheem Devine concert with?
Me, myself, and I do go places by myself.
You by yourself?
Mm.
Who you leave with?
What?
Who you
Huh?
leave? Who you leave with?
I didn't leave with anyone, but I didn't leave without a number. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right now.
Get it then.
Got a prospect lurking.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good show. I thoroughly enjoyed that show. Avery Sunshine, Leela James, Raheem Devon. And Leela is my heart. Like next time she come back into town, I'm going to see her again. She was phenomenal.
Right.
She
Yeah.
still got all
So,
that hair?
huh?
You still got the hair?
The hair.
Yeah, Leela James. She still got all that hair?
Oh yeah. Oh, she had it braided in the show. So yeah, but yeah, she still got all her hair.
That's
She's
what's
a
up.
short little thing too. Like somebody had to hold the stool for her to sit in. The
Damn.
little bar. So I was like, dang girl. But yeah, she's a little short little thing. But she has a big old voice. She is phenomenal. So if
I'm
they
gl-
come away, go see them.
I am glad you enjoyed yourself, man. I was messing with everybody Sunday, man. I was like, I hope she don't get pregnant. I hope she don't get pregnant on Saturday at the concert and stuff after she leave the concert.
If
Or,
I
or,
get
or, or
pregnant, it's a holy, what's that? Divine intervention, whatever that
divine
is.
intervention. Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, I hope I hope she don't think she was 19 or 20 again, think she gonna get backstage and stuff and do her little thing and stuff.
Look, I've been known to do that, but I was a
Wow.
good girl. So
Wait, hold up.
Wait, you've been on what, Miss J?
I've met a couple folks, sliding to the background, just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Hey, so you saying you done had a jump off or two, huh?
Not necessarily. It's strictly innocent. Just happened to bump into the right people at the right time. Like what's his name? That dude, Ryan Gentles, whatever, the one that's in the Tyler Perry plays with the long dreads.
Okay.
Met him by accident. He came out we were leaving and he came out the side door and I saw him before everybody else did. And of course I had to run up and,
Hug him and embrace him and
hug
grope him
real
and
quick.
shit. Yep.
Uh,
Christorian, what's up, brother? How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm a little sleepy.
You were sleepy? Well, with that being said, we're gonna segue into our topic. This motherfucker gonna go to sleep on us. So we're gonna go segue into our topic. Hey, our topic for tonight, man, is sending your kids to predominantly white school more beneficial or more harmful to them? Is sending your kid to a predominantly white school more beneficial or more harmful to them? Hey, man, Miss Toy, kick us off. What you think?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I do feel like they'll be exposed to a lot more hateful comments because I didn't go to a school with all white people, but it was my first time actually going to a school where it wasn't like two white people in the classroom. So I heard the N word a lot. I heard a lot of stereotypes a lot. It was good because there were more opportunities. I
Mhm.
feel like you're around certain people, so it challenges you because you got to try to keep up and be the best and be just as good as they are and work twice as hard. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's pros and cons. Definitely, hey, I'm just gonna say it, there are some teachers in all white school districts who are not the best. They won't help you succeed. I've known some parents who've dealt with teachers who just, okay, we're just gonna pass you along, not actually teach and pour into the kids and not actually teach them, if that
Right.
makes sense. You have some that will, but the other ones, they don't expect for you to do grades. They expect for you just to pass along and just give you the grades because what is that, no child left behind, and
Uh-huh.
not necessarily educate you as you should be.
Right.
And and you know what? I've seen the comments where a kid doesn't do well in an all-white school, and the first thing they do is there problems at home, or instead of
Yeah.
trying to understand how that child learns, how they teach, are they hands-on? You know what I'm saying? Are they visual? Sometimes they won't invest in your kid. They will, but sometimes they won't. And that's just the challenge you take.
Yeah.
I know some that will choose to take their kids, but I mean, your kid's gonna get bullied if they go into an all-white school. That's just what it is, because you learn how to talk proper. You're gonna be judged for that. That's not gonna be any winning to me. You're gonna be judged for everything. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. It can be good and it can also be bad.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Christorian, what's your
Mhm.
take on it, brother?
Both. Um, Actually, I feel like I'm lucky. Personally, I grew up and I started out in predominantly um black schools in the neighborhood that I grew up in, and then later on, from maybe 10 years old on, I was in schools that were a majority of white people.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that it does is it helps you get used to microaggressions. And
Yeah.
microaggressions that you deal with in a situation to where you're the minority are the same ones that you're going to have to deal with when you're an adult and you're in the workplace. So
Yeah.
those, just because those kids are 30, they're the same way. Your personality is pretty much the same at 8 at then 28. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Who you are at 8 is pretty much who you're going to be. If you're a habitual liar at 8, that's that same habitual liar at 28. If it's a person that plays the victim, it's still going to be the same. But
Yep.
going into the predominantly white schools, what I did notice is the difference in resources. There's a
Yeah.
difference on how the computer lab looks. There's a difference on how the field trips are. You
Mhm.
most definitely see a difference. So
Right.
those are the benefits of it. However, when you come home and you're immersed in that type, into a culture that's not yours, to kind of prevent yourself from being consumed by that, the parenting aspect of it to make sure that your child knows who they are and keeps their image of self strong is very
Mhm.
important, or even that much more important. So
Right.
that's something that you have to counteract. You're going to have to not let your kid think that who they are is not good enough because the image that they're seeing for 8+ hours a day, and they get to come home and they see you for 4 before bedtime. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's already twice as much of the imagery being forced into them. And then you already watch television shows and you know what imagery on television look like. So I do believe it's difficult in this situation because everybody wants to have the kids to have the best resources, but it's
Yeah.
almost like if those resources and training were in the neighborhood where they are, it would be even more beneficial. But the funding for those neighborhoods don't match because it's based on taxing and things like that, and so it's
Right.
not going to be a fair shake. Because in the neighborhoods, just to be honest, in a poor black neighborhood, there aren't too many people that own that house that they stay in. It's a whole lot of renters. So the
Mhm.
taxing is not going to be the same. The houses might, where I grew up at, houses might be $10,000 to $15,000 houses. Those aren't the $150,000 houses where I went to school at. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? Big difference. And those are like the regular kids, not even the ones that are millionaires that drove the new cars in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
The ones, the ones whose parents have streets named after them. You know, like those. I'm sitting next to a kid who has a whole section of Caterpillar. Everybody knows what Caterpillar is.
Right.
It's a whole street where his grandpa, that is named after his grandpa, and he's sitting next to me in class. Down
Damn.
the street, it's a go up 2 blocks, and the street got his last name on it.
Wow.
So crazy stuff like that.
Man, that's good stuff, man. Dre Day, what about you? Tell me what you think.
I think both situations, sending your child to a predominantly white school or sending your child to a predominantly black school, they both have their benefits and they both have their drawbacks.
Mhm.
I do think that sending your child to a predominantly white school actually prepares you for the for the real world,
Yeah.
because you never know where you're going to end up in life. And so if you don't go to a predominantly white school and then all of a sudden you go to a predominantly white college, you really don't know how to interact with these people,
Ooh,
you know.
that
So
that is big because what you said right there is so huge because me and you, we both went to the same high school, a predominantly black high school, Sumner High School, predominantly black. But then when I went off to college at Central Missouri State, I didn't see a lot of me out there on that campus and everything. So you made a great point. But finish your point. I'm sorry, sweet. I
Oh,
just
it's
had to
okay.
interject with that.
It's perfectly fine. And you know that it actually me coming from predominantly white schools
Right.
into Sumner, I
Yeah.
really didn't know how to interact with black people,
Mhm.
and I was coming into Sumner at the time that, you know, uh, Dangerous Minds had been out
Oh
and
man.
and
Crips and
all kinds.
Bloods and
Right,
gangs and
right.
yeah.
So I didn't know what I was walking into. I remember being told that I was going to the school, and I remember I just bust out crying because I was like, "Y'all sending me out here with all these black people?" That was really my response at that
With
time,
these Negroes.
right? With these Negroes, you know,
Oh my
and my
God.
parents were like, "If you don't know what
You're
you are,
you're
let us
African,
tell
you're
you."
Negro too, my dog, my
Yeah.
child.
But I think going to a black school, what I did gain was a clearer sense of self. I actually
Yeah.
got to a point, and it was very quick. It was easy for me to feel like I fit in. I mean, I was a nerd no matter what. So it didn't matter where I was. I was going to be a nerd wherever I was. But there were other black nerds there,
Right.
and you find your tribe in your larger tribe.
Yeah.
So I think, it can work, one way or the other. Um, I think ultimately what parents should want is a good education for your child. You want your child to be taught by people who are gonna care about you as a human being and not as somebody that I have to come and entertain to get a check.
Right.
And that should be and I just say this: if you are black and you have black children and you're sending them to a predominantly white institution, you need to be very, very involved in their education. Do not
Absolutely.
do not let up on these people's necks. My son went to an almost completely black school. The school he went to is in a little is rising in affluence. It's actually the most affluent black neighborhood in Dallas.
Mhm.
And he went to that school, and I still stayed on them teachers' necks.
And they was probably really shocked about your engagement in the school because
I think so.
you were probably one of the only parents that was engaged as much as you were.
Well, I come from a family of educators. I mean, it's just
Right.
this. I rejected being an educator because I didn't want to do what everybody else in my family did. So I come from a family of educators. So I'd heard my family talking about how they try to reach out to the families and the families don't do anything. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, well, now I see the importance of needing to be, involved and needing to know what's going on with my child. Because those teachers up there, they're overwhelmed. I don't care what nobody says, they're overwhelmed. And so
Yep.
you have to be the one as the parent to reach out and say what's going on with my child. So, but especially if you're sending your black child to a white school where there are white teachers, you have got to listen to them kids when they start telling you about these teachers. Of course, take what they say with a grain of salt because children they're gonna exaggerate everything. But
Yes.
then when you hear the message, you go back to the school with that same message and say, listen, my child is telling me ABC and I need to know what's going on.
Right.
You know,
Good
so
job, man.
that's my take on it.
Shay Boogie, what's your take?
Well, for me, okay. So for me, most of my educational journey was kind of in a mixed area. Like even in our neighborhood, it was pretty diverse. It wasn't all
Mhm.
white, all black. We had a pretty good mix of black, white, Asian, kids. So it never really was an issue or something that was such a problem that it was pointed out that this is an all white school or all black school because we had such diversity. So
Right.
then my sixth grade year, I ended up getting bused to another school. And it was maybe a little more noticeable that it was a predominantly white school because it was just me and maybe 2 other kids in this classroom. And there was a little Johnny in my class, and little Johnny, I'm pretty sure, was probably ADD. And
Mhm.
we had Mr. Heckendorf. So his name should tell you
Yeah.
what he was, how he was, Heckendorf. And he didn't like little Johnny. And every day little Johnny was getting sent to the principal. And so during this time, we had corporal punishment. And I can remember my brother even getting a whooping by permission from my mother from the principal. So, you know, not that it happened a lot, but still. So just having those little differences, you could tell it was a little more clear, but
Mhm.
we still had enough kids to where it didn't bother us, you know, or wasn't that noticeable. Now,
Right.
fast being the parent who also works for a school district.
Yeah.
So my kids started out going to a Black school. It was one of the biggest districts in our city. And the classroom that he was in was Hispanic for the most
Mhm.
part. And something happened in that room to where my son got in trouble, but he was innocent. My son had what they accused him of, he had never done. And mind you, my son has been in daycare since he was 3-4 months old.
Oh yeah.
And never had problems past, the typical things. So what they accused him of and how they treated the situation turned my stomach. And it was a Black school basically. So because it was handled so badly, I decided to take my son. Luckily, we could, as employees, we could start bringing our kids into the district. And it's a majority white, affluent district. And it has been a way better experience.
Okay.
There was a couple spots in there that, okay, was unfair, but it was still a lot better than the way the other district treated my kid, So, and like Chris said that, the computer labs were different, the books were different, they get more, they get better technology, it's just better.
Big difference in food too.
Huh?
Food. The lunch is way different.
This nigga say the lunch is different.
It is.
You ain't lying.
Dunlap. Brian
There's
and
more
his kids is
options
in
and
Dunlap.
a
My kids
variety.
went to Dunlap. And the lunch is way different than what we have in our city school district.
And see, I will say, I don't know I don't know how the other school district was. This school district, the kids complain too, but you do your best with, but past all that, it was still a way better experience. It was just the PTAs did a whole bunch for the school, it's yearly auctions where the school would raise over $100,000.
Wow.
Just the auction. So they could, they take government money and then have that surplus, and they're able to give the teachers $300 a piece or plus to go and buy the supplies they need for their classroom. It's that type. So, but even with that advantage, like Dre said, you do have to stay on top of teachers and make sure that they're actually teaching your kid. Because I've had negative experiences with Black and white teachers, that would not do what they're supposed to. My kids have 504, so by law, they're technically supposed to do these things, and yet some would slouch and not do what they're supposed to, even though you're raising hell and saying, hey, this needs to be done, and they're giving you that face. And one with my youngest, I even took like a ball because she was like, he won't sit still, he won't sit still. I took in a yoga ball so he could sit at his desk and bounce on the ball, and she sent it back right after in the school. I'm like, no, I bought this for your classroom. She didn't want it in the classroom. I'm like, so sis, I'm here to help you, and yet you don't want to accept my help. You don't want to accept what could be a solution to less wiggling from my kid. Okay. So that was a big old thing. So it's a plus and a minus to going to, more affluent schools, so I can see it from both ends, from the perspective employee. So
Right. Hey man, thanks Shay Boogie for that, man. My take about sending your kid to a predominantly white school, its advantages and its disadvantages. But one of the main advantages is the network that they'll build for future endeavors and everything, man. I mean, it goes beyond what they're going to do in high school and everything. We're talking about 10, 15 years down the road when they can network with this person. This person may be able to help them out. They may be able to help that person. It's the relationship building of going to a predominantly white school, man. And I didn't realize that until I went to college, man. I have built so many great relationships from college that I still got my great relationships from high school and me going to a predominantly black school, but I got relationships as well from people of a different ethnicity when I went to college playing college baseball. It was only two black guys on the team, man. 40, we have 50 scholarship players, 2 blacks. So you do the math. Numbers didn't add up. But I got so many great relationships that I built off that. It's like I said, it's about the relationship portion of it. But you don't want, like Chris said earlier, you don't want your kids to forget where they came from. You don't want them to forget that root and everything. And my son, I'm gonna tell you, my son, he was raised in predominantly he was in private school all his life, man. And I know he was raised in private school all his life. So one day they didn't have school, and I brought him to work with me. This when I was working in the school system. I was a gym teacher at one of the elementary schools, and he was over there with me, and he was just like, wow, it was like an eye opener. He was like, Dad, these kids over here cursing and everything. It was so much stuff that he was exposed to just by that day, just one day in that St. Louis public school system, man. And hey, it was just one day. He just sat back and he was just at a loss. And then he turns around and I sent him up in he was in the first grade. I sent him to the second grade. I sent him to the second grade. He was in with the second grade teacher, and he did a test. It was a spelling or math test, and he didn't even study or anything. He just did the test. He aced the test 100%. And all the other kids, a couple kids missed 1 or 2. He was the only kid that got a perfect, got 100%. And then he was just in the second grade class. He was in the first grade class, but he went to private school. Some of the, like I said, the disadvantages, man. We know kids can be cruel, man. Especially like in St. Louis, we had a program called desegregation. So that means they'll bus kids from the inner city out to these predominantly white schools, or majority of it is, like I said, predominantly white schools and everything. So these kids going out from the city got to get up at 5:30 in the morning, be on their deseg bus by 6:15 to travel all the way out to these parkways and all these other schools, these parkways, these Ladus, these Claytons and stuff. And they're exposed to a whole different environment out there. And then they are used to the clean schools. And like Chris said, the facilities, better, just a whole different atmosphere. And then they leave, get on their bus at 3 o'clock or 3:30, and got to come back down here to an environment where shooting, drug transactions, prostitution, all
Yep.
type of crazy stuff, man. So they're exposed in both worlds and everything. And then uh, a lot of their homeboys, a lot of their friends may go to the inner city schools. And your kid gets off the bus, they want to get out, they already outside playing and stuff. And your kid get off the bus, say, I gotta go in and do homework. You think you white. That's gonna be the first thing. You think you white. Why you want to go do your homework? Do your homework later. No, that's a structured regimen that you have. But
Mm.
man, I'm gonna tell you, my son goes to this school right here, and we're in a predominantly white school district. Whites, yeah, predominantly white. Chris knows the school district where we in and everything. Predominantly white. And it's about culture and everything. And oh man, it took a lot out of me. I showed my ASS ass, man.
My daughter hated it.
Hey man, we went out there, and my son, they laugh and they joke and stuff. And he was around a couple of his black friends. And they, when black kids, when they say kill yourself, that don't mean nothing. I mean, from a cultural standpoint, kill yourself, man. Go on with that, man. Go on, kill yourself with that craziness, man. They didn't see it that way. He said it to one of the little white kids out there. My son, the white kid was trying to jump into the conversation with them. He didn't know the white kid had other issues going on and everything. So when he said kill yourself, the white kid went home, didn't come to school the next day, and was saying that one of the students said to kill himself. And he was and the mom got mad and upset and called up to the school. And the principal said, yeah, we're gonna have to give him a day suspension. No, the fuck you not. No, well, the fuck you not finna give him no day suspension. Hey, I will have every fucking news company, news outlet up at this motherfucker. No, I say, first of all, it's a cultural thing. I say, if you guys teach more diversity, equity, and inclusion out here in this school district, then it's about cultures and stuff. We say that that's the dialogue we say in the African-American culture. We know it's just gone with that craziness. But in another culture, it means completely different. So they was trying to suspend him, give him a day suspension and everything. I said, no, we're not finna do that. And then I let their ass have it, man. And then the one of the male principals say, we want you to come up here and be a mentor, a diversity mentor for a lot of the young men up here in the school. I said, well, that's not my job, man. I said, I would come up here and help out help out or come up here periodically, but I don't want to commit to that. You guys should have people in here that's dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. But like I said, they tried to suspend him over because he told the kid to kill himself. So I said, no, we're not finna do that. And I said, you want to see a pissed off man, a pissed off black man? You saw one. We're not finna do that. We're not finna go through these hoops and everything, man, just because he made a comment. So it has its ups and downs being part of a predominantly white school and everything. I know by me going to a predominantly black school, man, I could say some of the stuff to my friends at a predominantly black school that I couldn't say at a predominantly white school. When you walk in the halls of Sumner High School, you go hear everything. You gonna hear the N word 122,000 times that day.
Yep.
You gonna hear it.
There's definitely boundaries, and different places have different boundaries.
That's the no. Yep, that's the norm there in that environment. Yeah. And you gonna hear the B word 1,000,000 times. You gonna hear the B word 10,000 times. Girls gonna be saying that to each other, but we know, hey, it's a cultural thing, man. I feel like once we start understanding each other's culture and some of their norms and everything, what they do, I think education is some of the battle, man. They got to understand our dialogue. We understand their dialogue. I mean, it's just an understanding and everything, because we do and say things amongst ourselves. Like we all could be here. We could be at a spade game. We gonna get up. We gonna talk trash. We gonna cousins. Hey, that's your typical spade game. But if you at another environment, y'all playing bridge or y'all playing game night, it's gonna be you gonna probably conduct yourself a little bit different than you are amongst your own family and friends and everything, or your own peers.
Mhm. Yep.
So man, it has its advantages and disadvantages, man.
Absolutely.
Now it's left up to the kids, man. How do we educate them? How do we reach out or because the kids is critical, man. And like Dre Day and Shay both said, man, you got to be that parent that get involved and that stay active. When my son have conferences, parent teachers conference, they see mother and daddy. They ain't just gonna see one parent. I'm sorry, you gonna see both parents and everything. And I know people have circumstances and situations, but if the school, that predominantly white school, see the engagement from the mother and the father to know that, hey, Mrs. Powell, they ain't playing. They gonna be up here at the drop of a dime. They call and they check on everything. Compared to little Willie from the hood, mama just, hey, he just drop him off and you ain't gonna see the mama again. That's it. That's
Right.
it, man.
But I think well, the problem is that once kids get to like secondary age, like junior high, high school, they think these kids can handle it themselves, especially in high school. And that is not the case. If anything else, in high school, they may need that additional push. So if you sit here and you wait till it's late, or you don't truly do your due diligence, like some teachers, because, and I get it, they're overwhelmed, everybody has said, and it's a lot. You got 200 students and you have all these grades to put in, right? But okay, you as a teacher, you know you got all these grades to put in. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till the end of the quarter. You know, I'm supposed to do, I'm checking my son's grades and it's constantly zeros, and I'm getting in his behind, and he's like, but mom, they haven't posted the grade. But okay, then, and that's not fair to my child. I'm constantly hopping in his behind for not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Them grades should be updated weekly. I think you should update them every week.
Teachers before, I said, how am I supposed to, as a parent, go over to make sure that the progression is correct if I'm not seeing you add their grades in a timely manner? By the time progress report comes and you cram them in before your deadline to get the grades in, and it's been for 3 weeks, I said, now I'm looking at a C on my child. If my child was to get a C, now I'm looking at a C, then how am I supposed to do anything to improve that when I could have been working on it? Now I have to go back 2 weeks of work, or I would have got that assignment. We could have went over it then while it was fresh in the class.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, Chris, like you say, 2 weeks, man. Hey, don't wait till the last minute and give me the grade. Let me know 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, a month ago. Maybe that C could turn into a B. If by you letting me know and educate and let me know, hey, this is where this is where my child is at. Maybe I could just go in and we can start doing this work, or maybe get a tutor or something just to help that child progressively go along. I mean, we all know they're overworked at times and everything, but you gotta keep the parents. We gotta hold these teachers accountable too, though.
Yeah, and all that to say this: you can't continue to expect parental participation if this is what you're doing, because at some point I'm gonna get tired of fussing, you know. And I'm going to just be like, you know what? Okay, you are the problem, and I'm gonna wait and see what happens. And then that messes everything up, because when you could have been on your child to do better, it's too late. The grade is already in. So it's very counterproductive. Like, help me help you. If you want me to stay on top of my kid, put the grades in so I can see the grades and know, okay, you know what? you got a problem, you need to go to tutoring, blah, 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 or we need to work on, how can we help with your study habits or your, your deadline issues, whatever it is. But you can't, we need, if we're monitoring through grades, then you need to put the grades in.
Yes.
I definitely think COVID showed the parents that are actually involved in their kids' learning with virtual learning, and it definitely showed the teachers that were invested, in the classrooms, making sure you had resources at home, communicating, left and right. Your kid is struggling here because I seen my nieces struggle this year with their grades, and Tanya told the teacher, she said, if you need to hold her back so we can, or what we need to do to get her together. Tanya was very invested, but her kid learned different. So the teacher would go outside to calls, come by to see what they can do. I think it definitely showed how invested, I think a lot of parents possibly might have woken up like, I'm not on this, my child. I'm not encouraging them to do better. I'm not, I'm saying, making sure that they're meeting their needs and their goals, especially,
I
sitting
think,
there.
but you know what I think this pandemic have done? That pandemic has opened up the parents' eyes on some of the stuff, on the hard work that a lot of these teachers are doing and everything. With these parents at home, homeschooling these kids and trying to get them focused and trying to make sure that they're getting this done. They realize that it is dead serious, man. They realize that this is the one that hey, this is what we got to do, man. This is what we got to do.
It opened the eyes of the curriculum. I think, sometimes the curriculum, if a parent can't help their kid with the curriculum, there's a problem.
Right.
I need to look at, I see face, Dre. I see your face.
That's all you're saying.
I'm not co-signing that.
Huh?
I'm not co-signing that.
I know, I get it, but I think sometimes, the curriculum can be a little difficult. If I can't sit here and help my kid, if I always got to Google or refer to an app, and I think sometimes that the teaching behind the curriculum can be a little difficult. If I can just say 2 minus 2 is 0, why do I have to draw all these graphics and cross out all these lines and da da da? And then if I teach it to my child in a simplified way, they go and take that test at school, then they get the same answer, but the method is wrong. And I think that's highly unfair. I'm doing the best I can at home. I'm helping my child. I may not have learned it the way y'all are teaching it, but ultimately the answer is still the same.
Right.
So my child shouldn't be penalized because he didn't draw that graph, draw that circle, cross out those lines. He got the correct answer. He did it his way. So that's what I mean. Help me help you again.
There you go, man. Hey, man, this was an amazing, amazing topic, man. Hey, for our listeners, man, we want to know your opinion on your kids in a predominantly white school. Is it an advantage or disadvantage, man? Definitely let us know in the comments and everything. Hey, man, we're going to jump off to a couple segments and everything. We're going to kick this night off with our girl, Miss Toya, from a long time ago. What the hell? What's up?
Lay down. So what the hell is where I give you a what the hell situation or what the hell topic. My what the hell today is basically what I've been seeing at work. It's for people who jump into the healthcare industry and they're just doing it for a check. The level of care is not there anymore. The patience is not there anymore. The customer service is not there anymore. And I honestly, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been so bad to where I've had to call state. It's frustrating when you have good workers want to pour into people and do right by people. So my whole stand behind it is, if you're just gonna do it for a check, then don't do it. There's plenty other jobs you can do. Healthcare is a job where you have to have a heart to do it. You have to have the patience to do it. And just don't take that job if you're not gonna be sincere and dedicated to giving someone good level care.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Miss Toy. You finished? Or you still talking?
Yes, I'm finished.
All
I'm
right.
finished.
All
I got
right, Miss Toy.
I'm finished. I'm sorry, Brian jumping off the table. I'm so
All
give me
right.
a second.
All right. We go swing. Hey, that was good stuff, Miss Toy. Shay. We're gonna kick it off and over with our girl Shay. And Shay shares.
Look at you. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
starting to think you like me. Look at you.
I
Oh,
told you I'm on point, man. Don't do me like that.
You
I'm on
didn't go to
point.
sleep on him that night. He liked you.
right.
Hey, you was the only lousy
You
bastard
wasn't
that
a
was
sleepy
rocking with me.
bastard. You was not a sleepy, lousy bastard, Shay.
I wasn't. Only because it was vacation, honey. Because if I would have had to go to work, I'd have been like, ooh, the lights is off. But anyway, I love you. See, I love you. Oh.
I'll take that.
Anyway, y'all, it's your girl Shay, and I'm sharing because I care. And I got a bunch. I got a couple things. So first, I want to give it up to my girl in the background, doing big things, regardless of the criticism that she has been receiving about looks.
Uh-huh.
She's still a beautiful Black woman in my eyes, Miss Sha'Carri. I think I'm saying her name like Sha'Carri. So, and I love the interview that she did about her grandmother and her mother. It touched my spirit. So big ups to all the beautiful Black women at the Olympics, including my girl Simone Biles, who got her 7th National Women's All-Around title in
That's what's
gymnastics.
up.
Whooping up on them people, got them haters hating because they can't do what she do. Come up to her level because she shouldn't have to dumb hers down. Boom.
That's
Exactly. That is
Right?
horrible.
It's horrible. It's horrible. My girl is able
Thank
to
you,
do
Michael
all those
Phelps to slow
tricks,
down.
right? Do all them flips and tricks and they mad. Man,
They
do
big,
better.
they big
Especially
mad too.
other people catch up and they still ain't caught up.
Right. And I got to water it. No. Y'all fertilize yours. Come up to my level. She set the bar. Come up to the bar. That's what y'all supposed to do. Isn't that what a competition is? But
Right.
Okay. Also, shout out to my boy Rick Ross, saving his money by doing his own yard work.
Rose.
200 and some acres on his own, pushing his own little more. I just thought that was so funny. So I had to share that real quick. And the last story, there was this father named Christopher Emmanuel. His daughter was put up for adoption by his crazy baby mama. I'm gonna say it that way. And without his permission. So he had to fight the courts for his own precious daughter. And with grace, he won. And he was able to get custody of his daughter back. And that and his baby mother needs to understand that she caused a whole bunch of problems because the people that adopted that baby got attached to her. That baby developed attachments with these people, and lost attachment with her natural father. So you have tore up more than 3 lives, maybe, possibly. I don't know how the other family,
or if they had any kids that attached to that baby too.
Right. So you just put this baby in a horrible situation. Not only that, now she got to get back acquainted with her father. But, they look pretty happy. Hopefully he was there and visiting and, kept himself known to her. But it's horrible that you would do something to an innocent child. So
how old is the baby, Shay?
How old is the baby? I think she looks like between 3 and 5.
Okay.
But
Wow.
I'm not sure how long she was with the other family or whatnot. But, to put her in that type of situation. And luckily, hopefully, the family was good to her, So it's all kinds of situations up in there that could have been prevented had she just given the baby to the father in the first place. But he had to go fight for her and get custody.
It was a whole lot of lives that was impacted. And a lot of people was hurt over just her mom, just the mom, not just saying, "Hey, I'm not ready to be a mama. Here go our daughter.
Right.
I will let you know when I get myself together," and
If,
just keep it at that.
and even if you don't get yourself together, at least that baby is with her daddy and
Yep.
not where, where she don't need to be. She
That
is with
one
her father.
that wanted her too, man. You got a lot of deadbeat dads out here, but this guy wanted to rear and raise his daughter, man.
Exactly. So big ups to him for fighting for his baby and winning custody. And it's sad that you got to say that in 2021, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it for your girl Shay. If you want to reach me, I am at Renee_Shay at IG. No, it's Twitter. And then Renee_1 at IG. There you go.
There you go. Thank
I'm
you,
gonna get
Shay.
those.
You gonna get it right one day, Shay Boogie. But thank you for that, man. Hey, we go top the night off. Our girl Dre Day. She go get her. She got some orgasms ready for next week. But we gonna finish it up with our man Chris Storian.
Everybody,
Story.
how you doing?
How you doing? You woke now? Cause your ass was nodding off like a
You
motherfucker. You like
she
this.
was not.
Motherfucker was
My
nodding
bad,
off
man,
like
it's late. I don't even know how late this is, and it's been a long day. I've been up since about 4 a.m. So,
Whew.
so. I know we're gonna get a
Man.
quick let Chris and chill tonight, right?
it's gonna be a fairly quick one, man. I'm gonna go over a movie that I've recently seen and I've enjoyed. It's on Netflix. You can catch it on Netflix now. Let Chris and Chill is the segment where I tell you about a movie I have seen, and I will give you a rating on a 1 to 5 ice cubes on whether or not this movie is going to be chill worthy. So the movie I've chosen is a movie called The Platform on Netflix. Now, it is a very interesting watch. I'm not sure. Have you seen it, Shay?
I haven't, but it was some things I heard about it, but I'm kind of curious, but it sounds really good from what everybody says.
I'm most definitely not going to spoil it. Now, this is a movie. It's a foreign film that's English dubbed. So it's a movie about a experimental confinement facility, and people are in for a variety of reasons. It could be there that are sentenced there due to a crime they committed. And so it just so happens that the focus of the movie, the protagonist of the movie, he is there because he wanted to stop smoking cigarettes. So he decided to. Now in this confinement facility, there's a platform of food that goes through each level. Through each level they're supposed to share this food that goes through, and it's him navigating on how to eat. And of course the food is going to be a big deal. The
Right.
only rule in the prison is, or the jail, whatever, is that when the platform is at your level, you eat while it's there. You cannot save food. If you do, like, go to hide some food, then one of two things will happen. They will either freeze your floor out until that food goes, you drop it, or they will heat the room up until it heats your skin off your body.
Oh
Dang.
man.
One of the two will happen. So he thought he would keep an apple. I'm gonna just example. He thought he would keep an apple. I'll eat this later. Roommate didn't say nothing. This is his first day. He just looked at him and kind of snickered because he didn't want to eat the food that was on the table, that it went down. He goes, takes the apple and sits down. The thing goes down. All of a sudden they start getting hot. Though you see the air wiggling. You know how it is. Then he was like, what's going on? And then he explained to him that they're going to heat the room up until their skin fall off, unless he drops that apple down that hole to go down to the table. He said, why didn't basically, why didn't you just tell me that before he kept the apple? But he drops it and then it cools down immediately.
Wow.
So it's a movie that leaves a lot of questions in the end. I'm not going to lie. It's basically one of those movies that looks like it's set in one room for the entire time. But it's never boring. Not at one time is the movie boring, but it does leave a lot of questions, like why is this facility even real is my biggest one. Like, why is this place even made, and whose idea was this to set up this feeding system? But I most definitely would give this a 2.5 ice cubes out of 5 because as I was highly entertained, it does leave a lot of questions, like I said. I enjoyed the watch. However, it may not be everybody's cup of tea. So 2.5 out of 5 ice cubes for the platform.
The platform. I'm gonna have to check that out, man.
Yeah.
Let them know how they can reach you.
They can leave this movie on see the movie on Netflix. You can catch me on Twitter at Christorian or on Instagram at Christorian1. Love to hear from you.
All right, man. Thank you for that, Chris Story. Hey, man, this has been another amazing episode of Just Talking to You, man. We just want to thank you guys for just tuning in. Drop a comment, man. Let us know what you think about tonight's episode. Like, share, subscribe, send it to people who may be interested in knowing about, or if they sending their child to predominantly all white schools, man, and so they can know what we take, our take on the advantages and disadvantages, man. Hey, man, with that being said, man, we're gonna get ready to sign off, man. We will see you live on our live show this Sunday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Well, we will be playing a game, man. We will be playing a game this Sunday, man. So you definitely want to tune in. We're gonna have some fun this Sunday, man. And we the crew, man. We out of here, man.
All right. Bye, y'all. Love you.
Bye.
I don't mean to be sweating you. All I wanna do